This is the CLA from Mercedes-Benz. The car definitely got attention when it came out because it's the low, sleek sedan that's affordable to many people that maybe thought they couldn't afford a Mercedes-Benz in the past. When the cars originally came out, the CLA 250 was only available with front-wheel drive, and the CLA 45 AMG was available standard with all-wheel drive, or as Mercedes-Benz calls it, 4Matic. Now the 250 is available with that option, 4Matic, and that's why I'm here today in Quebec. Nobody does winter like Quebecers. First of all, winter tires are mandated. You have to drive on winter tires in Quebec in the winter, which makes so much sense. We're actually on the bottom of where they did the rowing for the 1976 Olympics. It's called the Basin here, and we're going to slip and slide on the ice and then head into the rural countryside to try out the CLA 250 all-wheel drive, or 4Matic. This is sheet ice with snow on top, and we're going around here with the CLA with winter tires, all-wheel drive, and nothing else. Okay, there's nothing else stopping us here, and when you get on the sheet ice, the car just drifts right out. You actually get more traction, obviously, in the snow than you do on the ice. And once you get this vehicle on a certain angle, you can just sort of feather it, and the all-wheel drive system is very balanced and gives you a nice snow show, and also gives you good traction. So there's nothing helping me here, just the all-wheel drive system. And yeah, you can get it all pear-shaped, but if you know what you're doing and you have a little bit of snow and not sheet ice, you actually get some grip. Now, anti-lock brakes are on. Now the brakes can basically do their thing as much as possible, but the number one thing you got to remember, with any car in the winter time, you only have available grip. That's the actual friction between the rubber and the road. And in this case, it's winter tires and sheet ice. So unless you have studded tires, there's only so much the winter tires can do. And because of that, there's only so much that the car can do with the available grip. So available grip is the most important thing to remember whenever you're driving in icy or rainy conditions, is how much available grip is there with the tires. And in this situation, the car is doing its best with what it's offered, and there's not much grip here. But when you do get on top of some snow, it can grab you and turn you around much, much better than you could without it. Now, powering the CLA, there's no change for 2015. It's the same 2-liter direct injection turbocharged engine, and it's matched to a 7-speed dual clutch automatic transmission. Now, 208 horsepower I find is just plenty. Sure, you can get that AMG version, which has 355 horsepower, but what you really use day in and day out is torque. 258 foot-pounds of torque makes this vehicle that much better in day-to-day situations. Now, let's get to the transmission. I do find the transmission a little bit lazy when you have it in their default setting. So right away I go to Sport, and that wakes this vehicle up. Now, also changes on the inside of this car for 2015. It's a mild facelift for this car. You get a new steering wheel, which is very comfortable, a new gauge cluster behind the steering wheel, and you get a bigger Navi screen, which all comes together to make it a much more upscale interior. So that's all good stuff. Now, let's get into the suspension, because the suspension is firmer than the B-Class, but it's not nearly as firm as the AMG, the CLA 45. And I found the suspension in that car kind of crashy over bumps. And here we are in Quebec, driving over some pretty rutted and potholed roads, and I don't think that would be my choice. I think this would be my choice. So what kind of all-wheel drive system is this 4Matic in the CLA? In their small vehicles, the GLA, the B-Class, and the CLA, they have a front-wheel bias system. Now, there's actually a clutch pack in the rear differential, and what that can do is sense through a bunch of sensors if there's any kind of slippage, and it will lock that up and provide power to the back wheels. Up to 50% of the torque can go to the rear wheels. So this is a classic, what they call slip and grip system. Now, it actually provides quite a bit of power. I'm noticing driving around on these country roads where it's a bit frozen, that the back really wants to swing out a little bit, and all controlled, mind you, but it feels more like a rear-wheel drive car under hard acceleration than it does a front-wheel drive car. You're cruising along under light throttle load, it detaches through that clutch pack in the back and provides power to the front wheels for greater efficiency. So it's light, it's about 40 kilograms heavier than a car without it, but it provides extra grip when you need it. Now this CLA-Class has had its detractors. A lot of people thought it really wasn't a real Mercedes, it was a baby Benz, but I've always liked it. And I don't know why people think it isn't the real deal. The power is just perfect at just over 200 horsepower. The dual clutch automatic transmission I find really works best when you have it in sport or manual mode. I find the interior comfortable, and the dashboard has now improved for 2015. You get the bigger screen, you get the nicer looking steering wheel and instrument cluster. And the fact that they've added all-wheel drive makes it that much more dynamic. Let's get into the price and why this car has sold well. It starts at $34,600, and now the 4Matic all-wheel drive system is $2,200 more. If I was going to buy this car, I would certainly buy the 4Matic system, not just for the added safety and grip that it provides, but also because it's going to have much better resale down the road in the Canadian marketplace. One thing I really like about what they've done with the programming of this system is it actually allows you to slip and slide just a little bit. It's not an oppressive system that clamps down the engine and the stability control. It lets you have a little bit of fun. It is a fun car. It's a great looking car, and now it has more potential grip.